So, all right, it is 7. So we are going to get, we can get this to, all right. Welcome everybody. I'm trying to get it to, yeah, just as that. So you can let that person. Right. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to another Mindset Saturday where we are here to renew our mind, transform our lives, to change our mind, change our lives, and to learn how to think in order to live well. So it is wonderful, wonderful having you all. Today, we are going to talk about something that people say doesn't exist, which is cap. And we are going to talk about why it's cap. And we are going to lay our sombreros down. We are going to lay our all the other stuff down. All right, so we're going to start off with some things that people said was the same, that wasn't true, wasn't real, wasn't possible, whatever else it may be. So, and we will go from there. All right. Okay. All right, so I want everybody to tell me, I have a couple different things on here, and I want everybody to tell me what they think it is, what they think is being referred to here. So the quote is, even if it turned out to be feasible, it would end up being a complete failure. So I'm giving you a quote of what somebody is saying about something, what people are saying about something. And I want you to we just do 3 guesses and then we'll move on, right? But I want you to tell me what you think people are referring to. Even if it turned out to be feasible, it would end up being a complete failure. What do we think? What do we think people are talking about here?
Peace on earth.
Okay. All right. Who else?
They just sound very negative, whoever it is, whatever they're talking about. They just sound very negative.
Okay. But sometimes people think they're telling the truth, right? They think they're giving you what the outcome of this situation is going to be, right? Okay, that's 2. What else? Who else? What do we think they're talking about?
I don't understand how something feasible could be a complete failure.
Okay. Yeah, but so this is wonderful. But I want us to actually think about all the things we're saying. Because the ideas you have in your mind is feasible, but then why won't you pursue it?
It's not your
We do it to ourselves, right? We do this to ourselves all the time. All the things we're saying, we say when other people are saying it. When other people say it, right? But when we say it, when somebody says something to us, they're a player hater, right? They're jealous. They just don't like me, whatever. But when we say it to ourselves, we're just telling the truth. Well, you just don't understand. But we say the same things about these things. It's just not us saying it, right? So last thing, and we'll say it one more time. Even if it turned out to be feasible, it would end up being a complete failure. One more person. What do we think they're talking about?
That might be like you have an idea to do something, but it's in the wrong direction. So even though it might be a feasible idea, if you're doing it in the wrong direction, it's still a failure.
Okay. So what they're talking about here is online shopping. Oh. Who thinks that's not feasible now? Right. But these are points. These are points. We all say something's not, if somebody else tells you they're a hater. But if you tell you're just keeping it real, you're just being honest. You just don't want to let yourself down. You just know who you are. This is just, you just don't understand me. I didn't come up from here. I started poor. Oh, if anybody said anything to you that you're saying to yourself, you'd be ready to fight, hang up the phone, walk away. We're not friends, or whatever else it is. People said it wasn't feasible, and we're talking about online shopping. Now, how crazy is that? Okay, get to the next one. Critics slammed the idea and said it would never work. Sir William Preece, chief engineer at the British Post Office, said, "We have plenty of messenger boys." Critics slammed the idea and said it would never work. Sir William Preece, chief engineer at the British Post Office, said, "We have plenty of messenger boys." What are they talking about?
The telephone?
That's exactly what they're talking about. They said the telephone would never work. Now, does anybody see how crazy that is? So you have critics over every idea you'll ever get. What you think? Everybody's going to stand in line and cheer you like it's some kind of parade? But we're literally on the phone, on phones all day and night, and it would never work. Never work. Never work. Oh, and the critics, plural, not one. So not just one of your friends said you couldn't have a business, not just one. No, there's a couple of them. You got more people tell you won't work than will. You thought you had 3 friends, and now you got 5 friends because the other 2 decided they were your friend and were going to tell you the truth, but they weren't friends before they told you this truth. You're like, I don't even know you. Where'd you come from telling me it ain't gonna work? I don't even know you. You got people you don't even know will come out and tell you that ain't gonna work. But yeah, and they're talking about the telephone. So that's not gonna work either. Okay, let's see what else is gonna work. Military experts, including French military experts, said that these are toys and of no military value. So military experts, including a lot of French military experts, call these things toys and of no military value.
Grenades.
Okay.
Drones.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess nightlight thingy, vision goggles.
Okay. Airplanes.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Airplanes of no military value.
What?
Just to let you all know. Yeah, just to let you know. Oh, yeah, no, but see, it's funny now when you make it. You're insane when you first say it, but you're a genius and ahead of your time when you do it anyway. Yeah. So all these ideas you have that everybody tells you are no good, but you say, well, you know, they are right because they do got a degree. And I did fail the last time. Last time it didn't work and everything else. All these critics that you listen to about all the ideas that you have to do or be or have something that tell you you can't do it, you can't have it. Now it sounds real stupid in retrospect. But what do you think? What do you think these people sounded like at the time? They got it. They're the doctor. They have the name on there and all the credentials behind it and told you you're going to surely die.
That sounds like
They're the people with the degree from Harvard and told you that you can't start a business because you didn't go to Harvard Business School like they did. What's the difference between them and a military expert at the time? At the time, yeah, it sounds silly now, but we're living in the time now. Now this is our time, just like they had their time. This is our time. So you have an idea and somebody says, you're stupid, you're crazy, that's never going to work. So that means you wouldn't have a telephone. There would be no Amazon. You wouldn't be able to have any of these things, a plane. Does anybody know does anybody know why they opened up planes for commercial flying? Does anybody know what planes were originally used for in mass commercially? Does anybody know what it was used for first?
Mail?
Mail, actually.
Oh.
Mail. The post office didn't have their own mail carrier. So someone basically did an Amazon. They basically monopolized the whole thing. And then Teddy Roosevelt came back and broke it all up. And then that's when you started a whole bunch of these that's when that person who had all these airplanes had to open it up for commercial flight because they needed to keep these planes going because they had so much money invested in them. So they opened it up for commercial flight. But airplanes originally were used as far as for commerce, were used for mail, to get your mail across the country, right? But military said airplanes were of no value, they were toys. Okay. So Lee DeForest, pioneer and inventor, said this would never reach commercial success and called it an impossibility and a development of which we need waste little time dreaming. One more time. Lee DeForest, and he wasn't the only one, who was a pioneer and inventor, said this thing would never reach commercial success and called it an impossibility for commercial success and a development of which we need waste little time dreaming. So somebody's telling you don't dream. What you got is not going to work. You should not waste your time. What was this person talking about?
I think all of those are limited of foresight. People are seeing things as they are and not how they could be.
Oh, you do it too. You do it too. All of us on this call do it too. That's why we're doing this today. You do it too. You just call your thing special. You just think nobody understands your thing. You just think your thing is different. You just think, but everyone else doesn't understand your situation. You do it too. Johnny does it too. I do it. Veronica does it. Veronica does it. Sparkle Bailey does it. Marcus does it. You do it too. We all do it. But our thing is special, right? We all do it. That's why we're here today, because we all do it. But what were they talking about? What were they talking about? They said, this is an impossibility. It will never reach commercial success, and we need to waste little time dreaming about doing this thing. What were they talking about?
Cars.
The
Okay.
computer,
Okay.
Delivery service?
Television.
Huh.
Now, how you do that? So that means that thing that you watching when you get off, or that you're watching before you got on here, that you're gonna watch later, you should throw that out, because that's not real. That's not possible for commercial success, for everybody on here to have one and have multiple ones. You couldn't have one, and now we have multiple in our homes. But they said this is something you shouldn't even waste your time dreaming about. It is an impossibility. These are by inventors. These aren't just people just talking. These are by people who make things. These are by French military experts. These are the people who are in the know. These are the people who are experts. These are people with the degrees. These are the people who have experience. Now, how does that sound today? What did I tell you? I said, your biggest, the nightmare will be, your nightmare will not be that you didn't, your nightmare will be that you didn't do something. It's not what happened. It'll be that you didn't do it. That you didn't go at it and you didn't go after it. That's what's going to be your nightmare when you're 96. It's not going to be that you did it and however it went. It's going to be that you didn't do it. Because you were going to miss the opportunity to prove all these people wrong. Because all those people were right in their mind before it happened. But that's my point, is so are we. Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, it's probably not going to work. Yeah, it's probably not the right time for that. Man, I was born in the wrong time. Man, I'm ahead of my time. I'm behind my time. Whatever. We tell ourselves all manner of foolishness. Right? So, television. And now watch this one. In 1949, a respected mathematician declared that the limits of this item had been reached. In 1949, a respected mathematician said that the limits of this thing had been reached in 1949. What are they talking about?
Calculator.
Okay.
The speed of cars.
Okay.
phones,
Okay. Personal computers. That was it. 1949, that was it, y'all. That was it. That was it. But in 1949, but today, your business has reached its limit. I'm just telling you all of your business has reached its limit, because we're in 1949. We're in today. So Leslie, that little 300 thing you were talking about yesterday, no, you reached your limit. Where are you at right now? It's 1476. That's it. You have reached your limit. That's what they said in 1949. It can't get any better. This is a respected mathematician. And he wasn't the only one. I just picked out one person out of many who said the same thing about the same thing. I didn't give you a list of people. I just gave you people who should be in the know, so to speak, telling everyone else who doesn't have their level of education or experience, telling them that this is it. So you don't think most people listened at the time? You don't think most people believe that? You don't think you believed it when somebody told you that that's it? You don't think you believe yourself when you told you that's it? I can't do that. That's just not me. Well, I can't see myself like that. Well, everybody always told me I was this. Well, I tried once and I don't know how I'm going to do it now. Okay, well, it's 1949 for you too then. Just go and stay where you at. If you don't want to dream, stop complaining. You don't get to do both. If you're not dreaming, I don't want to hear your complaining. If you're not running, I don't want to hear about nothing about no ankle braces. I don't want to hear nothing about, can I have some water? You're not doing nothing. So I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear nothing about you not doing nothing. I'm not helping you if you're not doing nothing. Right? So you either dream, maybe with a complaint or two, because you're trying to work out your issue on the way to your, in your dream, or just be quiet if you're not doing nothing. But it's 1949. Every day we got an option to either dream or sit there and complain, cry, whine, moan, and everything, because people told you, including you, that you couldn't do that. But you tell yourself just as much, but you're not a hater though. You're just keeping it real. You're just 100. Everybody else is a hater. They're negative 100 and you're positive 100. I mean, the stuff we tell ourselves and sell ourselves is the killer. It's not what people say, it's what you believe. That's what kills you. It's not what people say to you, it's what you believe. That's what kills you. That's what puts the dagger in. You think the dagger is them saying it. No, that's just them with a knife. That's just nothing but hand-to-hand combat. That's just mind-to-mind combat. They can say it. Are you prepared to defend yourself and protect yourself and be like, yeah, nah, homie, no, no, no. Anybody while I was watching Jason Bourne last night, and people try to stab him, shoot him, doing everything they can to him. And we got to get down. We got to get down. But you're not just about to take something from me, whether it's my life or in our case, our business, our health, our friendships. But you're just letting people take stuff from you. But you're grown. But you don't let anybody talk to you like that. But you don't give everybody a piece of your mind. But you let them stop your business. You let them tell you that you can't get your health back. You let them tell you that that's not possible. It's 1949 for most of us in here. Now I'm excluding myself because I'm on a higher plane. All right, right?
That's
And the
right.
last
That's
one.
right.
And the last one. There is no chance this will get significant market share. There is no chance this will get significant market share. No chance. This was said by a CEO. There's no chance this will get significant market share. No
Amazon?
chance. Say it again.
Amazon. Amazon.
Amazon? No. Okay. There's no chance this will get significant market share.
Microsoft.
That's the person who said it. They're talking about something.
Apple?
The iPhone.
Oh,
There's
come
no
on.
chance the iPhone will get significant market share.
Come on now. Come
Is
on
it-
now.
Okay, wait. So when you come to me crying and whining, and I say, "Come on now," then why am I the bad guy? I mean, if that's what we want to do, then
Get up
how
off
come it
my
don't apply to
doorstep,
you
coach.
and you and you and you and you and me? How come it doesn't apply to us then? Oh, it seems stupid 20 years later. It is. But that's why you feel stupid 20 years later, because you didn't do it. Because you didn't do it. And you had the idea and you let somebody talk you out of your thing. You let somebody walk you off your plank. You let somebody walk you off your own yacht.
Oh.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. I wish I need to start recording our private conversations. That's what I need to start doing. Every one of y'all that call me, I'm gonna start recording our private conversations and start airing them out. So you can hear yourself. Yeah. I don't play golf, but you know how they say 4, right? They hit the ball. Yeah, you didn't put your dream down there and you hitting the hell out of it. And you out there just, that thing is so far gone now, you can't even find it. Yeah, yes, that's what all of us do. And when I get on there and say, "Come on now, this coach, you don't understand. Oh, coach, you just don't get it. Coach, you're being too hard. Coach, is that, I mean, you're taking it literally. Oh boy, I'm telling you guys, you guys got more excuses than a 4-year-old in recess. Boy, they go, well, it's not me. They hit me first. Well, I taught her the ball. That's my ball. You guys got more excuses, whining, crying, complaining, moaning, bitching, and everything else. You guys are pulling all the stops out. You pull all the stops out. There's no chance this is going to work. And you let somebody walk you off your square, talk you off your block, walk you out of your house, talk you out your dream, out your health, and everything. You do the same thing. Meaning all of us, you do the same thing. But since I'm up here, I don't need to take any responsibility right now. I just refuse to be a part of it. All right. We all do the same thing. Because in that moment, it's 1949. In that moment, this will never get market share. In that moment, your idea will never get market share. It's 1949. You're talking to a military expert. You're talking to a 5-star general. You're talking to a respected mathematician. You're talking to your doctor. You're talking to your spouse or your significant other. You're talking to your best friend. You're talking, but okay, all right. Well, 20 years from now, you're going to look as stupid as the people who look like this now to us, but only because somebody did it. So either guess what? You got a choice to make today. Either you can look stupid or they can look stupid. If I were you, I would choose you. I would say, you know what? I'm going to let them hold that bag. I'm not going to be left holding that bag. The bag of letting my idea or my desire or my dream go because you ain't on board with it. I didn't want you with me anyway. This ain't no carpool thing. I don't know. I'm gonna go on and just be like most Californians, ride in the car by yourself. Everybody in California by themselves in the car. Everybody. Don't nobody think about carpooling. They ain't with it. Everybody want to have their own ride. Right? Well, so you have to figure out whether you're gonna allow them to be stupid or you're gonna be stupid. But somebody's gonna be stupid at the end of this. Somebody's gonna be the one everybody's laughing at and looking at and saying, wow, how'd that work out for you? What did that complaining and whining and crying do for you? What is everyone not understanding you and not knowing who you are and they just don't get me and everything like that? Well, okay, well, do you get these people? Do you understand 20 years later why they said what they said? Does it make sense all of a sudden to anybody? Does this make sense to anybody? Yeah, not 20 years later. It doesn't, right? So then I'm just telling you now, you don't make sense to me right now. I'm not going to roll with you. I'm not going to rock with you. I'm not going to say, oh, well, no, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. And you should stop doing it to yourselves and to other people. Stop. If they want to cry, whine, and moan, go over there, sit in the timeout corner. Go on over there and get your favorite lollipop and go sit down over there in the corner and come back when you're ready. But no, I'm not going to co-sign on you being a failure, co-sign on you struggling, co-sign on it's hard out here, co-sign on you just don't understand. Well, if I don't understand, why are you talking to me? If I don't understand, why are you coming to me? Go to somebody who understands. Oh, the person who understands you can't actually help you, though. All the people you want to understand, you can't help you. They ain't interested. Call somebody with good news, they'll call you back. Call somebody with bad news, boy, they'll cancel their plans and talk to you. Sit down with you and talk to you all day. Talk to your misery, about your misery, tell you how miserable they are, and you guys can commiserate over your misery and then see who's more miserable. That's what good friends do. Yeah, but that's not what we do here. Here, we stop. Here, we lay the hat down. The cap has got to go. Even a graduation one, you can't put that on either. Can't put one on from your cap and gown from getting ready, your kids' high school. No, you can't put that one on either. Put it down. There's no caps here, period. No hats inside for anybody. So all these things sounded brilliant at the time. They sounded reasonable. They sounded irrational. They sounded like these are the people who should know. These are the people who should know. But now it looks foolish. But either it's going to be them or it's going to be you. You're going to have to figure out which one it's going to be. You're going to have to figure out which one it's going to be. So that was a warm up. I hope everybody got slapped around real nice and everything like that. I hope you're awake now because we're coming in and it's wonderful. And there ain't no band-aids in here, so don't get your feelings hurt because there ain't nothing going to happen. I ain't got nothing to wrap you up with. All right. Has anybody, did somebody say something?
No, I'm laughing.
Okay. Has anybody ever said at any time in their life about anything, whether it's something you ate or whether it's something you did that you finished or something you saw, whatever it was, has anybody ever said, man, this is perfect? Has anybody ever said that?
Can you repeat that?
Like, has anybody ever used the phrase, man, this is perfect? Maybe it's something like, ooh, girl, you cook, this is perfect. Or like they built something like, oh, that's perfect, just the way I wanted it. Or has anybody ever said, this is perfect, in regards to something happening or you seeing something or an experience? Has anybody ever said that?
I know I have.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, there you go. Oh, yes. Just remember, everything you said will be held against you. Oh, yeah. No, I'm coming for everybody today. Everybody today. It's either something's going to happen today because you're not going to be the same leaving out of here today at all.
It's a setup.
No, this is, oh, yeah, this is all kind of set up. Remember the Men in Society? You know you done messed up, don't you? You know you done messed up when you're sitting there, okay? You know you done messed up. No, you know you done messed up, don't you? And you're just sitting there. Yeah, everything you say, as I have it on video. And should any of you like to call me or email me or message me or anything else, I'm going to go back into this thing like this. I'm going to get on my mouse and I'm going to scroll it back and be like, that's your voice, ain't it? That's you. That's you. Click, let it play. And I'm going to let you hear yourself say all of it. I'm just going to let you hear you. And then I'm going to pause it and say, now, what were you saying? And then you're going to have to get off the phone and I'm going to say good evening to you. Thank you. So we've all said it's perfect. We've all said that. Okay, so let me get through. Let me see. Let me get 3 volunteers. Okay, first volunteer. Let me get 1 volunteer first. Who wants to go first?
Gavin is volunteering. Gavin is volunteering.
I'm cooking breakfast. That's what I'm volunteering. It's
Yeah.
breakfast.
And Gavin,
Volunteering.
I've been in your spot, brother. You volunteered. It
He's
happened to me.
underage. He's volunteering.
Yeah, I know. It happened to me, Gavin. I understand. You're volunteered, bro. It's just what it is.
He's volunteering, y'all.
Yeah, man, you gotta get out for that to stop happening, but it still doesn't stop happening. So it's gonna happen for the rest of your life. My mom still calls me telling me what to do from long distance. So it's never gonna change, bro. So it's okay. All right. So Gavin, you said, man, this is perfect. And tell me what you said that about.
You said what, sir?
So when you said in your life, man, this is perfect, right? Like something you ate or something you did where you described it in that moment as perfection. Like this is perfect. Tell me something you said that about.
Was probably my mom's cooking because
Okay.
it was perfect. It hit the right moment. I finished
Okay.
finished everything, and so tiki masala was for dinner. Just perfect.
Perfect. Mom's cooking. Okay. All right, Leslie, I see your hand. What is yours?
The labels that I made for my product.
Right. Okay. Who else?
Some people just join if you want to react.
So in our life, any time in your life where you said this is perfect, whether you saw something, someone did something for you, you ate something, you had an experience in life one way or another where you described it as perfect in that moment.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Coach. I would
Good morning.
say perfect day.
Say it again.
Sometimes I would say I had a perfect day. I got everything that I wanted to get accomplished.
Okay. The day itself. All right. Let's see. Give me 2 more.
I've said it about a flight. I get on the plane, I put my mask on, I go to sleep and wake up, and we are at the destination on the ground. I tell the pilot, this was a perfect flight.
Perfect. Okay. 1 more.
A dinner at a restaurant, the salmon cooked just right with the right amount of Chardonnay. Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, look at you. Now you done went to heaven and everything. I mean, look at you. Look at you. You done left us and everything. Didn't invite anybody. You done left us, went to heaven and everything.
run into
Or-
the chat a relationship.
Okay. Relationship.
Yeah.
All right. So watch this. So, okay. So all of you are on the witness stand. And all of these are the things that you said. So now, has anybody now heard no one's perfect?
Yes.
Okay.
That used to be my tagline.
Yeah, no one's perfect. Yeah, well, okay. If no one is perfect, then Sparkle Bailey, how did you cook that food like that? Gavin said it was perfect.
I'm gonna tell you how I did it because before this call was ever in existence, I already knew I was perfect. Hold on, G, hold on. Before this call came into existence, I already knew I was perfect. I was just being perfect around. I was perfect. I was not flawless, but I was perfect. I had room to grow, but I was still perfect. I was just
Okay.
around people who didn't understand, just like the people you described before. I was talking to people with limited vision. they weren't like unlimited vision people like myself.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that answers your question. I just need to get that out of my spirit.
There you go. That's what it was. There you go. Right? So that. Okay. So Leslie, you made labels. You made labels that were self-described as perfect. So then how is it then that you're not perfect? How do you make something perfect if you're not perfect?
Practice.
But if you're not perfect, how much can you, I mean, how much can you practice to become a giraffe?
I mean, if I put on that suit and I reach my neck out, I could do some things. You know what I'm saying? I could
Are
be
you
the,
going to grow some feet with it?
I could be the giraffe I need to be in that costume if I put that costume on.
Are you going to grow some feet with it? You going to grow like 2 more feet?
Probably appeal for that somewhere, coach. Probably a
Right?
pill.
If it's not there, it ain't there.
Right.
It's
Right.
never there, right? So then we have someone else describe it as perfect. We have a self-described experience as perfect. Someone else said their day itself was perfect. They describe a thing as perfect. What they did is perfect. What someone else did is perfect. Another flight, they described what someone else did was perfect. What someone else cooked was perfect. Being a relationship, another thing as perfect. So then how are we not perfect, or does perfect not exist? How is that possible if we're describing it constantly? How is it impossible for you to be perfect? And then what does perfect actually mean then? Because what does it say in the book? It says, be you perfect, be you therefore perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Heaven is in you. So your Father, right? Your awareness personified as a man, awareness. Other things are personified as women, right? Father Time, Mother Nature. It's not a man, literally, right? It's just personified as one in the book that separates this from this and that from that, right? It says, be you perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Your awareness is perfect. So then how can it tell you to be something that you can't be? And what does it mean by perfect then? What do you mean by perfect when you say that? It's the same thing that it means in the book. What does that mean?
Somebody lied along the way.
Say it again.
Somebody lied along the way.
Somebody lied along the way. Yeah.
Like
Just
somebody told us we weren't perfect. Somebody programmed us generations ago to believe
Okay.
that we are not perfect and to
Okay.
detach ourselves from like our spiritual selves rather
Okay.
than
Yes.
become our physical mess up self.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yes. And to your point, because all right, because let me get to. I'm going to say distinction so I can keep it up. I can remember. Okay. So what does perfect mean? In that sentence, like when Alberta was talking earlier before the call started, a lot of us have been told things and we've been given, whether they're aphorisms or sayings or definitions that we don't really understand the true meaning. And when it says, be you perfect, as your Father in you is perfect, in heaven is perfect, that word perfect, it means something. What does that word mean?
Without flaw.
Without flaw. It means, well, really what it means is whole and complete. You are whole and complete. That's what perfect means. It means whole and complete. It means that meal that Gavin ate, it was whole and complete. There was nothing lacking, nothing missing. There was nothing just the way he wanted it to taste, or that flight the way it went, or that dinner, because she went to heaven with that dinner, didn't she?
Chardonnay.
It went to heaven on us, right? That relationship, how it makes you feel, those first couple weeks especially, right? It's perfect. You feel it feels perfect, whole and complete, right? Just like the day itself, like, wow, man, today was my day. You feel that perfection that you're referring to is whole and complete. There's nothing lacking, nothing missing. That is you. You are perfect. You are whole and complete. Now, when we say somebody lied or we were misled, misinformed, miseducated, there's a distinction that we must draw. We must draw the distinction between, and I don't mean the separation, I mean distinction. That means how things operate. Humanity and what we call God, let's say. There's a distinction on when we say perfection, there's a distinction between the two, how we define that and what we mean by that. The reason humanity thinks it's not perfect is because it judges perfection on behavior. God judges perfection on mentality. Perfection is a state of mind that is physically expressed. It is not a physical behavior that you're trying to, like we say, flawless. It doesn't mean that you don't necessarily trip over a crack. It doesn't mean that you don't, that you didn't forget your keys in the house when you're getting ready to go to the car. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about your entire being perfect and whole as it is. It is a state of mind. Because remember, God is not physical. God is consciousness. It's not a male or a female. It's not physical. So it's not talking about a physical thing. It's talking about a state of consciousness that produces a physical thing. So when you say, well, no one is perfect, yeah, no human, as far as when we're talking about how humans interact and deal with things, those are physical imperfections if you are not operating from a state of mind that allows you to operate physically where you can do something perfect like that meal that was cooked, like those labels. How can what you did was not physical. What you did was tapped into a state of consciousness that allowed you to do something perfectly, where what you did was whole and complete. But because you define perfection in humanity, humanity is also limited. So then how can you be perfect? How can you be whole and complete if you're limited? You can only be whole and complete if you're unlimited. There's a distinction between the two. You can only be perfect, whole, and complete if you're unlimited. And that's who you are. That's what God is. It's unlimited. Humanity is limited. So when it says in the book, pick up your cross and follow me, when it said Jesus died on the cross is the body. This is our limitation. You have an idea in your mind. You can remember where you were born. Like if you grew up in Texas and now you live in Arkansas, right? And you left there when you were 8, right? You have memories in your mind that you can go to right away. Places in your mind you can go to right away. That's God. But your body can't. That's human. Your body can't go there right now. Your mind can. God can do right now. It's not limited. Your consciousness is unlimited. Humanity, the physical apparatus, is limited. It needs to get on a plane, get in a car, get in a bus. And depending on where you're going, it can take hours or days. God can go right now. You can have a thought right now of being somewhere else. Right? So it is unlimited. So in our humanity, we are limited naturally. This is the cross we bear. That's what it's talking about. This is the cross. When Jesus died on Calvary, Calvary is a word, Golgotha, which means skull. How do you think I never leave you nor forsake you? How could heaven be somewhere else if I never leave you nor forsake you? It's in you. The kingdom of heaven is in you. They're telling you, Christ in you, the hope of glory. That is in the body that you call your name. That you are in there. So when that dinner was described as, oh man, it was heaven. I went to heaven. It was heaven. Heaven is a state of mind, just like hell is. God is everywhere. There's no place God isn't. God is everywhere. It's a state of mind. And you put yourself in heaven or hell based on your processes, your thinking, your believing, your feelings, what you're putting yourself into. Perfection is a state of mind. You don't have to be perfect to be perfect. You have to select perfection to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be perfect. The perfection to be perfect, we're talking about humanity. Humanity is not perfect because it's limited. The body limits you. Your mind limits you. There are limits. God is unlimited. So you don't have to be human to be perfect. You have to be God to express perfection. You have to choose the state of perfection. It's a state of mind. You don't have to be perfect to be perfect. You have to select perfection. Select the state of mind called perfect to express perfection. That is how you cooked perfectly. That's how those labels came out perfectly. You were in a state of mind that produced perfection. It is very possible to be perfect. Perfection is not physical. It's physically expressed in the state of mind that you occupy called perfect. Perfection is a state of mind that you live from and express. It is not a physical thing that you try to do. You don't have to be in New York and make snow. It will do that for you at certain times of year. You don't have to be in California for it to be hot, or Florida for it to be hot. It will do that most of the time of the year. The state you occupy has its own mechanisms, has its own lifestyle, has its own way of doing, being, thinking, and acting. They're states of mind. You are not a state of mind. You are occupying a state of mind. You are not New Jersey. You live in New Jersey. Just like you move there, you can move out. You are not that. That's where you are. But where you are is where you are living from and how you are living. You're occupying a state of mind. There is a state of mind called perfection. And perfection, that's why look at all these things called perfection. Look at them. They're not all the same. So what that means is perfection is subjective, meaning it's what does it mean to you? I don't have to think you're perfect. You can think you're perfect, meaning you are perfect, whole, and complete and living the life you wanted to have. That flight that Karen said was perfect, I might not have thought it was perfect. I thought it was too slow, or I thought it was too long, or we got there too fast, or I felt turbulence. I may not have described that same thing as that, but it didn't matter to Karen. She described it as perfect. I might not think Leslie's labels are that perfect, but she does. Perfection is what does it mean to you? What makes you feel perfect, whole, and complete? What is an expression of perfection to you, of wholeness and completeness? That is a state of mind. And that is why we all describe it differently, because that state of mind is individualized, meaning we have different ideas and concepts of that for ourselves. Somebody could cook perfect fish. I don't eat seafood, not my thing. But somebody else, a lot of people around me do. Most everyone else does. Right? It's perfect for them. It's not perfect for me, but it doesn't have to be perfect for me for them to enjoy it. So we're not talking about physical perfection as it relates to competition, as it relates to what someone else thinks is perfect. It is, what do you think is perfect? What is the perfect day for you? What is a perfect car for you? What is a perfect meal for you? What is a perfect flight for you? It is a state of mind. And I am telling you that the only reason you don't see it is because we've been told no one is perfect. So you won't look for it. You won't actually move into it. You won't move into it. You won't occupy the state of perfection because you think it doesn't exist. But it does exist. You just described it. And you described it in real world things. So we're not just talking about some high and by in the sky with the pie on the other side. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about a flight. That's a very real thing. Imagine if that flight were imperfect. Imagine if those labels were imperfect. Imagine if that food was imperfect. Imagine the opposite and tell me that didn't count then. So then perfection does count. If the opposite is there, there's a duality in everything. If there's good, there's bad. If there's right, there's wrong. If there's up, there's down. If there's left, there's right, right? There's duality in everything. That's a law. So if there is imperfect, like you had a bad time, then you can have a good time. If there's imperfect, then there is perfect. That's the only thing that could be opposite of imperfect is perfect. M meaning separate from, to separate from. That's what M, the prefix, is. Imperfect, to separate from perfection. But perfection does exist. It is not a physical thing you try to create. It is a state of mind that you choose to occupy, that then you express from that state. What do you think anxiety is? It's a state of mind. Don't you express that? Don't you act like it, look like it, talk like it, feel like it? It's not something you can physically create. It is a state of mind that you occupy that physically then expresses itself. Perfection is God. It is a state of consciousness. God is not physical. God is consciousness that can express physically. And the reason we won't ever see perfection in our lives, or until we're willing to do this, is because we're unwilling to occupy that state of mind. Perfection is a state of mind. It is not a physical thing to create or to try to be. It's a state of mind that you occupy that automatically will express whatever perfection is to you. That meal, that flight, those labels, that relationship, that dinner, that this, that, whatever that perfection is to you. And if you would be willing to entertain it, I'm trying to get you to understand that perfection does exist. It does. It is not a physical being, a physical thing to create. It is a state of mind that you operate from that allows you to express perfectly, because that's where you live, in the state of perfection. Now, just imagine whatever perfection is to you, and imagine that being a part of your life. Imagine all your labels like that. Every meal you ate was like that. Every flight you had is like that. Imagine you moved into that state of mind and you said, I'm not going to move. This is where I live. See, perfection is almost like the sauna, right? You go in there for something, but you know it's a real experience. Or when you're an athlete and you have to get into an ice bath or cryotherapy, and that water's so cold, you don't know if you're in heaven, hell, earth. You don't know where you are. That water's so cold, right? And you sit in there, but when you come out, you're like, oh yeah, this is all right. But the point is, you sit in this thing, whether it's a sauna, cryotherapy, whether it is an ice bath, you sit in a thing long enough to get the effect. The effect is natural. There's no alternative. That water is so cold, it's never going to be hot. That sauna is so hot, nobody's ever going to be in there shivering, talking about why is it so cold in here. It is where you step into a state of something, and that state has its own way of doing what it does. You don't have to make the heat or make the cold. You step into what already exists, and you will then start expressing. Don't you start sweating when you're in the sauna? Don't you start shivering when you get in that ice bath? Don't you start doing the same thing if you've ever gone to cryotherapy? 1 minute in there will change your life, change your mind and everything. You do 3 minutes and you might be a different person when you walk out. You might have amnesia. You might think you're Tupac. You might think you're anybody in there after 3 minutes of being that cold. But it changes your whole body chemistry. All that swelling stuff comes out so fast. But you got gloves on, earmuffs on, because it is cold as all get out in one of them things. But it's an experience that physically expresses itself. Perfection is the same thing. It is a state of mind that you occupy that will physically allow you to express what perfection is to you. It's not something you have to do. You don't have to try to be perfect. That's a human limited thing, trying to be something. God just says, this is what I want, I am. Humans say, this is what I want, I would like. Well, you think I can get alone? Can you call somebody for me? Do you know anybody? Well, you know it's not who you know. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Well, you know what? Let me see if I can get a hookup. Consciousness is your ultimate hookup. Consciousness is just a state of mind that you can choose any one of them and live. You can choose perfection and you can choose anxiety. You can choose peace or you can choose worry. You can choose health or you can choose sick. You can choose wealth or you can choose poverty. They're states of mind that you enter and they naturally express themselves. You don't have to make those. They're there. All you have to do and all you can do, your only free will and choice is decide where you live in mind. What state do you live in? I am telling you, perfection exists. It is a state of mind. It is not a physical thing you have to try to be or try to do. It is a state of mind you must be willing to entertain, just enough to get in it. Be willing to entertain that pool just enough. You get to a pool and you stick your toe in. Yeah, that's most of us with perfection. We've heard about it, but we think it doesn't exist. So we stick our toe in, but we don't ever get in. Then we say, well, I can't swim. Well, nobody's perfect. Well, no, it is a state of mind that nobody is going to express without being in it. Just like you can't say you swimming outside the pool just because you're standing right next to it. You all the way into anxiety. You all the way into depression. You all the way into self-doubt, self-contempt. You are fully committed into that. You did a swan head first dive into it. I mean, you backstroking, you got the little thing, the little rubber thing that you on there kicking back with it with a little fruity drink, and everything sitting up in depression and worry and anxiety and poverty and check to check and bill to bill and debt to debt. And don't answer that because I ain't got the money this month. You fully into that. Well, the doctor said I'm never going to be back right. You fully into that. Well, the doctor said I got to take this medication for the rest of my life. You fully committed into that. But anybody talk about perfection? Well, now you're talking a little too much now. Now you're doing a little too much. You're doing too much now. Now you're doing too much. But that high blood pressure medication don't cost too much, whether it's in finance or on your body. That don't cost you too much, right? You being involuntarily unemployed, that don't cost too much though. It ain't that. You ain't doing too much with that. That's just reality. It happens to everybody. Everybody's afraid of something. None of those things cost too much. But say something good about yourself and you're a bad person. Say something bad about yourself and you're a good person. Hey girl, how you doing? Girl, I'm highly blessed and favored. I'm doing well. Everything's good. All right, girl, I see you on that today. Anyway, you want to get some coffee? Say something good about yourself and people don't like it. Say something bad about yourself. Girl, I know. You too. Say something good about yourself. You're a bad person. Say something bad about yourself. Boy, you are so humble. You're so meek and so mild. You know, Jesus rode on a donkey. That was the Cadillac of the time. Did anybody forget about that? That was a Cadillac. And guess what? No one had ever ridden on that donkey before. That was the Cadillac of the time. Come on, man. What are we talking about here? Perfection does exist. When we say it's perfect, you couldn't use the word perfect if it didn't exist. You couldn't do anything that you would describe or define, whether someone described it for you, of you, or you of them, or it was a self-description like labels or something you did for yourself. You couldn't describe it if it didn't exist. It does exist. You're just unwilling to entertain it because everybody tells you can't be it. Or that they told you you'll never be it. Don't try to be it. Aim for the moon and hit the stars. Well, if I ever want to get to the moon, I need to go to the moon, the actual moon. I can't walk on the star. I need to walk on the moon. I don't want to hit the star. I'm not aiming for the moon to hit something else. Then why am I aiming for that? I mean, what are we talking? What we come to rationalize and figure out any way to accept something we don't like, we don't want. That's we are like 99-cent store, Dollar Tree, pick and save back in the day. We have found a way to discount every dream, desire, and like and hope we have. We found a way, boy. I mean, we are better than Walmart. And I love me some Walmart because there's action in there every day. Sometimes I just go in there and walk around and look at the people.
Yeah, he does.
Because there's some people in there, I'm like, who let you out? Who left the gate open? Who did not lock this padlock? Somebody didn't let you out. You just snuck out the back. There's some people who they shouldn't be doing that. Shouldn't be out there like that.
Should be wearing that.
Something, right? But I'm telling you that the state of perfection exists. I'm here to burst the bubble. I'm here to tell you it exists. I'm not telling you that you should even want that. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying you can make perfection amazing. You could say, you know what? I'm now in the state of amazing. Everything is amazing for me. Everything is going for me. I'm in the state of I'm out here. Everything is working. I'm in the state of choose the state of consciousness that you want to occupy because that is the one you're living from. And therefore, that is the one that is inspiring all your actions. That's where you're doing everything from. And if you're doing something from poverty, there's no Intercontinental there. There's no W there. There is no Ritz-Carlton there. Have you ever noticed there's none of those in the trap? Has anybody ever noticed that? Everybody ride around in the trap and see a W or Intercontinental, like you driving like, wait a minute. Anybody ever seen one? No, you didn't. You ever see what you see in there? Motels, no-tails, everything else, don't tell, oh well, oh hell, this is not swell. That's what's over there. Right? When you go to the Intercontinental, the W, the Ritz, or whatever else, don't you see how they're in a different environment? It's a different state. It's a different place. It's a different environment. Your mind lives in states. You live in states of consciousness at all times. And there's a state of consciousness called perfection. You defined it. You gave me examples of it. So it has to exist. But that definition is whole and complete. It just means the thing you have, the day you had, the flight you have, the life you have is whole and complete. Whatever that means to you, you have the opportunity to live whole and complete. This is not crazy. This is not super deep and spiritual. This isn't high and mighty. You don't have to meditate for 6 weeks to reach the euphoria of, you don't have to do that. It's a state of mind that you can occupy perfection, whatever that means to you, the wholeness and completeness of your being and of your life. It's a state of mind that you can occupy. just like any other one that you have ignorantly occupied, without knowledge, without awareness, or without the discipline to remove yourself or remain where you should have been. This exists. This is real. You can be perfect. It means you can be whole and complete. Your life can be whole and complete. Your thoughts, your actions, your words, your behaviors. You can have right timing. You can always be in the right place at the right time. Everyone can love you and mean you well and treat you kindly and be a link in the chain of your good. Everything you set your hand to can prosper. All your yoke can be easy and your burden can be light. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to be mad. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to be broke. It doesn't have to be hard. But if you're unwilling to entertain the opposite, that's where you're living. That's what you're getting. You're in the motel. And you're in the trap, in the motel, and you're never going to live there long enough for people to come by and change the outside and say, we're now making this the W. They're not. Motel 6 is never going to be the Ritz-Carlton. It's never going to change. Doesn't matter how long you stay there, how many people you know, and they gave you a couple fresh towels with some new detergent scent. It's never going to change. It's not going to change. Stop trying to reorganize the trap. The trap is the trap. If you don't like it, get out. Stop trying to reorganize misery, poverty, lack. Stop trying to reorganize it. It's not there. It is for the people whose state of mind they're in. It's for them. That doesn't make them bad people. That's just where they are. That doesn't make us bad people. That's just where we are, where we've been. Get out. Move. 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 This is not trying to find a way to redecorate the Motel 6. You can't put a Picasso on there and all of a sudden it's not the Motel 6. It's still the Motel 6 with a Picasso on there. Okay? And then now you're about to get robbed. That's what it is. Stop trying to reorganize or redecorate things that just what they are. They're not designed to be something different. Move to where the design already exists. Stop going to Florida looking for snow. Well, it's January. Where's the snow at? Fool, it ain't coming. It doesn't exist here. Stop trying to reorganize stuff that's not designed for that. You are amazing. You are God in flesh. You are the highest level of authority in your mind. And whatever you believe to be true is true. So if you believe there's no perfection, well, you proved yourself right. If you believe that this is just the way it is, you proved yourself right. You don't have to worry about anything changing or anyone towards you changing. They are just an expression of your own self-concept or what you're believing yourself to be. If you don't like them, change you. And you'll either move on or they'll move on, but things won't remain the same because you're not the same. It's very simple. Perfection is a state of mind. It is not something that you have to try to do or something you have to try to be. It is something you must be willing to consider and say, you know what? I'm going to now consider myself perfect. I'm going to consider every thought I have is perfect. Every word I have is perfect. Every action I have is perfect. Everything I do is perfect. Everything I do is perfect because I am perfect and I am God. Everything I do is perfect because I am perfect and because I am God. God is perfect. I am perfect. My life is perfect. God is perfect. I am perfect. My life is perfect. Say it over and over and over. That's like moving in. That's like packing up your grip from the U-Haul and moving out and moving to that penthouse apartment in the sky, like the Jeffersons. Move on out. Move on up. They said to the penthouse in the sky, not the garden apartment on the bottom where you're looking at a wall. Not the floor where everybody gets to come in, where everybody gets to walk in the front of the hotel and walk right up to your door. No, you in the penthouse where only you got the key. That's it. Everybody walking all up to your door, banging on the door, making all kind of noise. Everybody out there barbecuing in the parking lot right outside your window. Yeah, well, they can't do that when you're in the penthouse. You ain't got to look at a whole bunch of stupidity in the penthouse. Your vision is higher. You ain't looking at the penthouse, at the parking lot in the penthouse. You're looking at the birds, the trees, the sky. You're looking at the glory of God there. You're looking at King's Fir charcoal in the parking lot. Jack Daniels in the parking lot. Car exhaust in the parking lot. That's why the Jeffersons moved to the penthouse in the sky. That's where you should be moving. From the garden of depression to the penthouse of prosperity and of success and of perfection, because that is available to you. Perfection is available to you. Amazing is available to you. Whatever word you want to use is available to you. And I'm encouraging you to step into it, to be willing to assume that is now you, to define and describe yourself as that, and to sit there. As uncomfortable as an ice bath may be, as uncomfortable as the sauna may get, as uncomfortable as cryotherapy can be, as uncomfortable as this new identity of yourself that I am perfect, I am whole, I'm complete, as uncomfortable as that may feel because you've been told you were something else. You were stupid, you're dyslexic, you have ADHD, you have high blood pressure, all these other things you've been told that didn't matter until you believed it. You have to now be willing to sit in something, and to sit in this new concept of yourself and sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there until you start sweating, until you start shivering, until that state starts to affect your life, your world. You sit there. You don't move. No matter what people tell you, no matter what you think, no matter what your day went, no matter what you're used to thinking, you sit there and you define yourself as this state does. I am perfect. I am whole. I am complete. Every thought I have is perfect. Every word I have is perfect. Every action I have is perfect. And the longer you sit in that state, the more of it you'll see. The longer you sit in that ice bath, the colder you get. The longer you sit in that sauna, the more you sweat. You don't just stop sweating all of a sudden. You'll sweat yourself into dang near dehydration. You stay long enough, it'll take all that water out you, right? But the longer you stay in an environment, the more effect it has on you. So you go in there to experience the effect. You didn't create it. You go in there to experience the state of perfection, or whatever you want to term it, whatever state you choose. But choose higher, choose better, choose greater. Stop choosing mediocrity. Stop choosing, I'm just going to get by. Stop choosing, well, this is just enough. Stop choosing, well, I don't want to. Stop choosing. Stop choosing that. Stop choosing just enough. I've said it before, there's not just enough stars, there's not just enough oxygen, there's not just enough sand, just enough water in the ocean, there's not just enough blue sky, there's not just enough anything that God made, but you think God wants you to live on a discount? Now you over here, so God at Nordstrom and you at the Dollar Tree. God at Nordstrom and you at the Goodwill. God over there at the W and you at Motel 6 because you're humble. I mean, what kind of fool are you? What have we accepted here? We have been hoodwinked and bamboozled. So now I'm Malcolm X. So now I turn to somebody else. We have been misled. We have been misinformed. We have been miseducated. That is not who you are. That's how you're living. Those are different things. That's not who you are. That's how you're living. And you can live differently. But it's not by the sweat of your brow. It's not by how many people you know. It's not by how many jobs you're willing to work. It's how many, you guys haven't worked hard enough yet. You ain't figured that out. You ain't figured out hard work ain't everything, or not even the most important. What you think about yourself is the most important. What you believe to be true about yourself and your life and how things go for you is what is determining your life. It determines when you work, how you work, what kind of work you do, because your thoughts determine what you do. And what you do determines what you get. You can't outwork your mind. You can't say I'm broke and think you're going to work your way into rich. And you keep thinking that. It doesn't work like that. That's not the idea you're working from. That's not the blueprint you're building from. Can't have a blueprint of an apartment building and think you're going to get a mansion. The workers are working on the blueprint. Your consciousness is working on its concept of itself, what it believes to be true. And what does it believe to be true? What you keep telling. Whether you came up with the idea or you accepted someone else's. You keep telling yourself you're sick and you will always be. You keep telling yourself you're broke and you will always be. You keep telling yourself things are hard and it will always be. This isn't positive thinking. This is thinking. You're just not thinking positively. There is no positive or negative. There's a thought, and that thought has an action and has an outcome. And whatever you're thinking, that's what you're going to get. So if you think you're humble by saying, well, I'm doing just enough, well, then you'll get just whatever enough is. You're not doing no favors to anybody. You're not doing it, especially yourself. So perfection is available. It is available. You can be perfect in your life. Whatever perfection means to you, all these different descriptions of it, you can have that in your life. You can be that in your life. It is an option, like every other one you choose. It's just a state of mind. You are always in a state of mind. You need to identify what that is and keep it or choose it. Choose another one. When you do that, sit there. Do not move until you see that physically manifesting in your world, sweating in the sauna, freezing in the cryotherapy or the thing, until that physical thing you sat in has actually started to become physical in your world. Until that state of mind starts to express itself in your world, you stay there. You define yourself as that. You see yourself as that. I don't care if you get an F. I'm a straight A student, and I'm still a straight A student, and I will continue to be one until that is perfectly manifested in my world. And then what will happen is things will start to rearrange themselves for you to express that. You will start to think different. You'll see different. You'll get different ideas. All the things that you're seeing, thinking, and doing are from the state you're in currently. There's no way to get out of that. You're sitting where you're sitting right now. How are you going to get something from the next state? How are you going to get some food from the next state right now where you're sitting? How are you going to watch TV from the next state where you're sitting? Everything you're doing is from where you are. Perfection is available. It's just a state of mind. It means you're whole and complete. Everything is the way you want it to be. That is available to you. And I'm imploring you, I'm encouraging you, I'm telling you to occupy it. It is available to you. That is a righteous state of mind. All right. Anybody have anything they want to say about that before I move on? Before I start yelling at you about something else?
The smackdown was real.
Coach, you could just grab some water and then you could just keep on like reminding us of how we've been tripping this whole time. You know, it's helping over here, it's helping.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Are you sweating like a Baptist preacher?
Man, I am, and I didn't even bring my rag. I didn't even bring my do-rag. I don't have anything to soak up this moisture. I'm over here, I'm losing 5 pounds a Saturday. I mean, I didn't even go to the gym this morning, but I didn't need to because I got Saturday. I dropped 5 here. I did a couple push-ups before I started. You know, I done the whole circuit. Right?
Natasha says someone needs to play the organ right now.
That's it. Somebody needs to give me a break. I need a timeout. Somebody needs to start playing some music. Choir, you need to sing now so I can go and get some drink and get my second win. Right? All right. We want to make sure. So does everybody understand the concept of what I'm saying? I understand it may be foreign to a lot of us. I understand it may feel uncomfortable to a lot of us, but define yourself. Define your state of mind. Choose where you want to live in mind. That's where everything is happening. That's where everything is happening from. It's available to you. Everything are just states of mind. That's not who you are. That's just where you are. But according to where you are, that's how you'll feel. When you're in that sauna, that's not who you are. Your name isn't sauna and you will not be, but you'll feel like it. You will define your experience as I was in a sauna. And because of what I was in, this is what I went through, sweating, or this is what I went through, freezing if I'm in this or that. You're in a state that you're experiencing. And what I'm telling you to do is choose what that state is. And you don't need anybody's help, permission. You don't need there's not a democracy. You choose what it is because that state is available to you. Right? Okay. No, it's okay. No. Yeah, do it like that. Oh no. All right. Let's see if somebody can finish this statement. Somebody can finish this. What you think of yourself, how you define yourself, what you think of yourself is what you think of. What you think of yourself is what you think of.
Everything.
Okay.
Sean said other people.
Okay.
Your life.
Okay.
The world.
Okay.
Spark Belly said others.
Okay.
What you think of yourself is what you think others think of you.
Okay.
Oh, that was good.
What you think of yourself is what you think of God. Who you think you are is who you think God is. So you have a hard time thinking God's going to forgive you because you have a hard time forgiving yourself. You have a hard time thinking God won't move on because you won't move on. You think you think God wants to punish you because you can't wait to do it. You think God thinks you're stupid because you think you're stupid. You call yourself stupid. You call yourself dumb. I can't believe I won't do that. I can't believe I didn't do that. You think God's still thinking of you what you did 6 weeks ago because you're still thinking about it. You think God won't let it go. You assume what you think. You assume about God what you think about you. You think God won't listen to your prayer, but you won't listen to it either. You think God won't answer it, but you won't believe it. What you think of you is what you think of God. Your relationship with God is nothing but a reflection of yourself. If you were the nicest person in the world, why would you think God is mean? If you're the meanest person in the world, why would you think God is nice? And if God is something that you respected or revered or worshiped, why wouldn't you be more like it? But you are. You're just like it. The relationship that you have with a being called God, whatever you want to call that, is nothing but a self-reflection. It is the relationship you're having with yourself. What you think of God is what you really think of you. If you want to change your relationship, you have to change you. You have to change your self-concept. You have to change what you are thinking and believing to be true. You have to stop. You have to change what you think you are or who you think you are. We were talking about this earlier. A lot of people, and I'm gonna say it a little bit differently. See, a lot of people are all of us have come here or to some, all of us come to be saved from something, right? We're all looking for different ways to do, be, or have. But the problem is we never grow out of that. So we always remain as we are, meaning we're all coming to get answers, but nobody's coming to get knowledge. Very few people come to get knowledge. They just want to get answers. They want to get out of what they're in. Not realizing that all it's going to do is lead you to something else, or you'll be right back where you are. It's cool to have a Tylenol, but if the same reason you got the headache, you keep doing, Tylenol is only going to relieve you for a minute. And then all you do is become addicted to Tylenol, meaning you'd have to keep taking it because you keep doing the thing that causes a headache. You're not actually getting the knowledge, you're just getting the answer. You're getting a solution right now, but it's temporary. You'll be right back. When we're in it, we're all seeking for answers. But to stay out of it, we need knowledge. And most of us are going from place to place seeking answers and not knowledge. We're not seeking the reason why things are happening and who that is, what that is, why that is, and now applying, okay, now this is the way I'm going to do this. This is how this is going to be. We're just looking for a way out of something. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you can't do anything from where you are. You got to get out of where you are to be able to get to something else. But we just get out of where we are and then we stand right outside of it and we still right next to it. All it takes is a wind, a little push. All it takes is one little thought and you're right back into it. Because you got an answer, you got a way to get out of something, but you haven't moved on. You're the same person. So you're going to be right back in it. You're the same person thinking the same thoughts, the same way with the same beliefs because there's no knowledge. And a lot of that is because we don't really want to know the truth. We just want a way out of something. And knowing the truth requires us to spend time with it, like knowing a person. It requires us to spend time with this information. It requires us to get to know it so that we understand it, just like a person. How can you understand somebody you don't know? How can you understand them as a person, not the words, their intentions, their meanings? How can you understand them without knowing them? How can you change your life if you don't change your information? How can you change your information if you're not willing to spend any time with it? You have to start spending some time with what you're learning. thinking on it, pondering it, writing it out, writing it down, talking to yourself about it, asking yourself questions. Well, if that's true, how can I apply this in my life? Find out if it's true. Prove if it's true. It's not, this is not a place, or any place is, if you want to get the benefit of something, it's not a place to come in, sit down, hear it, say you went, show everybody your badge or your ID or the pictures you took in front of the place, and like that means something. This is not a service or a seminar or a sermon. This is not some place just to come down and me talk to you and you guys sit there and just like this 10th grade history class. This is a place where you participate, where you learn, but I want you to participate and learn with the information after this, away from here as well. Because that's why, that is why all of us in life, we grow up and you got to wait till Sunday to go to prayer healing service because you can't heal yourself. What, is God out of order on Sunday or on Wednesday? God don't do weekdays? I mean, how do you serve a God that you can't even get to yourself? That's like having a relationship with somebody and you don't have their phone number. How do you do that? Why does everybody have to be the intermediary between us and our desire? We need our parents to agree with it. We need our friends to agree with it. We need our significant other to agree with it. We need this. And then, that's hard enough. And then you got to deal with you. Oh yeah, I need to start doing like the FBI wiretapping. When you guys call me and text me and crying and whining, I need to do one of those disclaimers. This call is recorded for customer service purposes to ensure that I got you on tape crying, whining, capping, lying, and everything else. If you plan to go forward, please, push 1. Yeah, I'll say it nice at the end. Push 1. Yeah. So then when you call me back, I ignore your call and shoot you the voicemail. And then when you call me back before this starts, I'm going to say, raise your right hand. And then I'll push click. This is you. Pledging your allegiance to your misery, your poverty. They don't understand me. It's not, you don't understand the economy. Well, I didn't get a degree and my kids and people don't. No, I'm just going to go and push that play. Then I'm going to say, how can I help you? This information only works if you work it. But if you work it, it'll work. It'll work. It will change your life. It will change everything that you apply it to. But as I always say, this is a lifestyle. This means you apply it to everything you do. You assume your perfection everywhere you go. You assume everything is always working for you. Not because it's Sunday, not because you're feeling sexy, not because the sun is out, not because you got your favorite shoes on, not because you finally got that car you wanted, not because your boss all of a sudden likes you, not because it's not raining today. No, you assume you are who you are wherever you go, all day, every time, all the time, because that is your choice. That is your right. That is a reflection of your divinity. That's the right you have to be. You don't need anyone's help to be. You get to choose who you want to be and what you want to happen in your world. And according to that, then your consciousness, your higher mind, right, will then locate the physical things that's necessary for that to be a part of your world. You don't have to make perfection. You have to be willing to assume you are. That's what God does. God assumes it is. It assumes it into being. Humanity tries to work it into being. That's why humanity will never do it. It never works. Genius is not created, it's expressed, it's experienced. Everything already exists. You're just experiencing it when you are willing to entertain it. That's why you feel so brilliant when you do things you love. Because that's why you do them so well. Because your whole mind opens up. You are having so much fun, you don't want to be limited. So you won't consider limitation. Do kids look limited to you when they're playing video games? Do they look limited? Kids look limited at Disneyland? Do people look limited at the nightclub when they're having a good time in college, 19, 20? They look limited? Just think about all the things when we're having a good time. Think of how unlimited we become. And nobody got high blood pressure then. Nobody got diabetes then. Their knee ain't acting up right then. They limp it into the club until you turn around and look like an Olympic gymnast. You don't know if this is the Olympics or Magic City. You don't know where you are. Yeah, I mean, hey, man, we all in the world. I mean, and we got to get it how you live. We talking about the truth here, right? This is what it is. How come you become a different person then? How come things change all of a sudden? How's your health get so good so quick? Because you're entertaining something else. You put something to the side. The reason your stuff is the way it is because you won't put that to the side to entertain something else. You're always living what you're entertaining. But without actually taking this information and sitting down with it and thinking about it and applying it, writing it out, writing down, seeing where you can put it in your life, you don't have to use it to have your own jet tomorrow. Use it to get all your bills paid tomorrow. Use it to get to work 15 minutes early instead of 15 minutes late. Use it to have your shower stay hot as long as you want to. Use it for things that you can use right now as you are. And you build that momentum and you get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you start to apply it because it's a lifestyle. Use it to make sure that the hot sauce you like at your store is there when you get there. Use it for things, use it for the relationship you have with your kids. Use it for your relationships you have anywhere. Use it for your business. Use it for everything. It's just you have to be willing to assume something. You're assuming it anyway. You're assuming that your leg is going to hurt the night before. Today is a new day. But your leg hurt the night before, and the next morning you wake up and it's right back waiting on you. You haven't changed your mind. You can't change your life. Right? If you will be willing to assume something new, like perfection, like amazing, like effortless, like ease, like everything being good for you every day, all the time. And you sat there, you weren't willing to accept a discount, a deal, you couldn't be bought out, there's no loopholes. I'm sitting in this state of my desired experience until this desired experience becomes my physical world. And I'm going to sit here until everything is like that. Every part of my life, I'm not moving, I'm not leaving. Till every part of my life is like this. That's how you got the life you got now. That's how you have the health you have now. You sat in it long enough for it to become your experience. And then you say, I have, or I am. You become one with it. Right? So these are things that these are the things that we're talking about. XYZ statements. People talk about it in business all the time. And most people don't know what they're talking about. When I say that, I mean, I understand I'm having a human experience, but humanity's not enough. I got to operate on something different because I don't want to be limited by money or health or this or that. So I'm always trying to figure out what would God do here? What does God think about this? What would God say about this thing? I'm always trying to get into that. So when I say that, I'm talking about like, what is the highest way you can think about this thing? What is the highest way you can think about this thing? So I know most of us on here do business. So we have an XYZ state. All right. Well, let's see here. So, let's see. Let me see who I think is real good at it too. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Veronica, the other one. Not the one sitting right here. The other one. Are you available?
We can't hear you.
Is she talking?
She's unmuted. Check your mic settings.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. All right.
Okay.
I want you to give me just like give me like a generic XYZ statement.
Okay. Hi, I'm Veronica White from Help from a Sister, and we cater to single parents. We assist single parents.
So you are this, and you do this to express that.
Yes.
Right? Okay. X, Y, Z. All right. So now let's say, Veronica, a desire you have that you don't mind talking about. It could be It could be for a pencil. I don't care what it is. Just something that you don't mind talking about. Insignificant. You can make it as small as possible because it doesn't matter.
Oh, no, I want to make it big. I want to be a developer.
Say it again.
I want to become a developer.
Okay. So, all right. All right. So now your XYZ statement.
I have a desire to develop a neighborhood.
Is that an XYZ statement?
Okay. What do I do?
Stop. F. Fail. You blew it. Fail. Watch this. No, now watch this. We do this. We do XYZ statements constantly. Why did your desire change your XYZ statement the way you did it?
Good question.
Do you see what I mean? This is why we can't get what we want. It's not that we can't get what we want. I'm saying, look at how in our human world, the XYZ statement was easy. But what I say, I don't really do the human thing. I'm not saying that I'm not flesh just like you guys are. I don't mean that. I'm saying, look what happens when you do it. Look at how it changes the way you do things, right? Because your desire now is God seeking to be. And when God seeks to be, we use our humanity to try to do it. And so we get stuck, right? The XYZ of what she did humanly, she laid it out perfect. But when her desire, when God came in, look at how it changed. Do you see how we changed it? Right? Okay, so Veronica, let's do it again. So do it again. So you have a desire to be something. Make that an XYZ statement.
Okay, I am a developer.
Okay, you are a developer. Okay,
and I develop neighborhoods for single parents.
Okay, that's what you should have said from the beginning.
I got it.
Does that make sense? That is
Yes.
how we should talk. That is how, this is what I want. Therefore, this is what I do. And this is what I get from it. Right? The same way you would anything else. Right?
Yes.
So the reason the original XYZ statement, the first one was easy to do because humanity can do anything it sees or it repeats. It's like a parrot. A parrot's not making up words, but they can repeat anything. But only God creates. So when it came time to create, boy, God all of a sudden, boy, minutes ran out on the phone, right? It's like reception got bad, right? You see how we change things? And what I'm saying to you, that's why we don't get what we want. And so then what happens is God has a desire to be more, and we can't do the XYZ statement. We're stuck in our humanity. So we're stuck in that relationship. We're stuck at that job. We're stuck with that car. We're stuck with that health because we can't dream and say without us seeing it first. Since we don't see it first, then we have a hard time expressing it. But God uses its thought to express. It doesn't use expression to think. So you say, yes, I build a community. Okay, so say it again.
Hi, I'm Veronica White. I'm a developer. I develop communities for single parents.
There you go. You need to say that to yourself all the time. You need to master that just like you master that other little thing you talked about, right? I don't care nothing about that. I care about the second one because that's who you want to be now.
Yes.
That is who you're now assuming yourself to be. That is what I mean, step into your perfection. That's who you are now. You keep doing what you're doing physically, but now you identify yourself as that. And you say it over and over and over and over and over and over to yourself. That is what you identify yourself as being now. If as soon as you desire to be something, you step into that desire as that now. God doesn't say, let there be light. Well, let me wait 2 weeks and see if I get my check. No, God said, let there be light now. It was dark. God said, let there be light now. I'm that now. I'm going to keep physically doing what I'm doing. But in my mind, in my consciousness, I'm that now. I'm that now. I'm that now. I'm that now. That's just all I am. I ain't that and that. I'm doing that. I'm doing this, but I am that. And the more I stay here, the more of this will die and the more of this will come alive. And it'll come alive now. Here's this part. Here's the why. What is the why? What is the why? Who is that over there in the corner?
Ooh, where?
Right next to Veronica, right next to her.
That's Karen.
Karen. Okay, let me see. Now, no, I'm gonna make sure. No, I'm gonna call somebody. No, I'm not getting none of the good students. I'm getting the students in the back. The ones that yeah, playing around the back. Let's see. Who is that with? Veronica, you pick somebody. Hurry up.
Wait,
You, Veronica, pick
me?
somebody. Yep.
Okay, you know what? I'll pick Natasha
All right. Natasha,
if she's available.
if she's available.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So the why. The why psychologically, right? In this equation, the why. What is that?
So why is it the God in you?
Okay. The X, right, is your desire. The Z is the physical outcome of that desire. The Y is what?
X is the desire. Why is the outcome? The thought, the thing. I don't know.
Right? The X is the beginning, the idea. Hey, I got an idea to go to the store. The Z is you at the store. What is the Y?
The process of getting to the store.
The process. The Y is the process. The Y is what they would call the bridge of incidents. The Y is what they would call inspired action. The why is how, once you are willing to assume the idea, the idea is the beginning, the Z is the outcome, the why is all the things that happen that lead you from the X to the Z. But all the things that lead you from the X to the Z are based on the beginning and the end. So when God makes something, it makes something in a holistic view. Like we talked about, I think last week when we talked about a cow. It makes the grass for the cow to eat. It makes the sun to grow the grass, the water to grow the grass. It makes the cow itself. It makes the digestive chambers of the cow. It makes everything for that cow. Everything has to fit. It doesn't make anything in a vacuum. Humanity makes things in a vacuum. That's why we're often trading one problem for another. That's why we're often robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? Because we're trading one thing for another. We're not making a decision in a holistic view, but we can't in humanity because we're limited. We don't know what's going to happen 6 minutes and 19 seconds from now. But God does. So with the assumption of being what you want, that why is what the Bible calls ways and means that you know not of. Ways that are higher than your own. It means your consciousness knows everything it takes. It uses this why to get you from the beginning to the end. It's all the things that happen. So anyone, when you're making an XYZ statement, what you have to do psychologically is say, okay, I know what I want and I know what the outcome of that is. Now, my assumption of whatever I think myself to be, how things go, that is the why that is being used. Why says, oh, why is always looking up and saying, oh, she thinks business is good but hard. So now I'm going to make business good, but now I'm going to put a couple mountains on here. I'm going to put a cliff over here. I'm going to put a moat with an alligator in it. And I'm going to put, right? Your why are all the things that you go through to get from X to Z based on what it is you want to have and how you think that should come for you. Do you think you can have a business at all? That's a scenario. Do you think it's easy to get it, easy to keep it, how it goes? That is your why. Those are all the circumstances that happen in between the beginning and the end. But those are all conditioned upon your concept of yourself, what you think things are, how you think things are for you. Right? So anytime you create for yourself psychologically, because you're a creator. See, humanity can repeat anything. That's why it was easy for Veronica to say the first one. But the second one is creative. The second one, you got to make it yourself. So then guess, if you got to make it yourself, who is making it? You. Well, who is you? Who are you saying that is? Who do you believe that to be? That is based on now. That is who is deciding how this why goes. The why is the vehicle to get you from the beginning to the end. Your consciousness is the vehicle, right, to get you from the beginning to the end based on what you're believing it to be. So your consciousness gives you the idea based on who you think you are. Then it gives you the circumstances and scenarios to get from where you are to where you want to be if you're willing to entertain this thing. all the circumstances are going to be there for you to express who you think you are. So I am now this, doing this. I am now a business owner. What a wonderful, successful business. And people can't get enough of me. And I make $5 million. That's an XYZ statement. Why don't you make that? I'm a wonderful parent with a great relationship with my kids, and we always have a good time. That's an XYZ statement. Why don't you make that? I am happy and healthy, and everything is always going my way, and I have great friends and the best relationships. That's an XYZ statement. Why don't you make that? You can make any XYZ statement that you want, but as God, you have to be creative now. Meaning it's on you now. It's not something you just repeat. It's something that you create for yourself. This is how I want my experience to go. X to Z, and the Y is the vehicle. So this is what I want, the way I want it, and that's the outcome. I have a marvelous, successful business, doing what I love to do, making so much money, having so much fun, doing what I love to do. You can make those statements for yourself. They're statements of creation, not copy. You're not copying something. You're creating something. Who was God gonna copy when He made the world? Who's God? Who? Like, was there some kind of committee? Hey, I'm thinking the sun. You guys are. Hey, I think the sun should rise in the west and set in the east. I think, because I don't really like that. I'm trying to sleep over here, and I need a little more time. There's no committee making the world. There was no. Get rid of all the committees in your life. I don't mean you don't ask people for advice or wisdom or perspective. I don't mean that. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, it's your life, and you're going to have to decide what you want it to be and who you are and what that means and how you want this to go. Everybody else's opinion isn't always valid or valuable, because guess what? Newsflash, everybody's not valuable. Oh, in our humanity, but in performance, everybody's not valuable. Everybody is not able. They're not able to provide value. Everybody's not like that. Most people are not valuable. They're likable. They're able to be liked, but they're not able to be valuable. They don't perform like that. They don't live like that. They don't think like that. You can't call them and say, hey, girl, I really need to make this decision real quick. I got somebody willing to invest in my business, but they want 5% of it. What do you think? How many people can you call like that? Anybody got a Rolodex of them? Anybody got 10 friends they can call like that? Well, then what kind of friends do you have? What kind of friends do you have? Oh, you just have play dates. You just got a whole bunch of people. Hey, girl, you want to go to the mall? You can go to the mall by yourself. Hey, or cool, then keep those friends for that. But do you have friends you can call to make that decision? Do you have friends, girl, I'm really believing for, this new job and so on. Oh, girl, well, they really ain't hiring right now. Or do you have one, girl, keep your mind on straight. What's wrong with you? You have your job. They can't wait to hire you, right? They'll be calling you any minute. You got one of them friends? Those are the type of friends you need to have. Not the ones that's going to sit there and cry with you, rhyme with you, and everything else. The one that say, hey, girl, I understand what you're saying, but let's get this together. Let's go out to lunch and talk about how successful you're going to be in your new job. How much money they're paying you and how happy you are. Let's talk about that. Instead of talking about there's racism and there's sexism and maybe there's divine timing and maybe God just doesn't want me to like it and maybe God didn't hear me. Well, I didn't pay my light bill, so maybe God is mad about that because you shouldn't steal. And just have some friends that are going to sit there and set you straight in love, in honor and respect, but in truth, because only the truth sets you free. Your feelings don't do that. Your emotions and your opinions don't do that. Only the truth. And a lot of times we don't want people to help us. We just want people to agree. Yeah, it's hard out here. I just had to call somebody. Yeah, girl, it is. Let me tell you what happened to me. You don't even get to complain about your stuff. They didn't hijack your opportunity. Ain't gonna tell you about their own. And they got you on the phone for 30 minutes talking about their problem. You try to call them for your problem, and then they hung up. And you still didn't get to talk. So now you got to call somebody else. Right? That is how you make an XYZ statement for yourself of creation. I am this, because it's going like this for me, and that's the outcome of that. And you can create anything with that. Friendships, relationships of any kind, health of any kind, a business of any kind, success of any kind, happiness of any kind, anything of any kind. I am God, I am healthy, I am medicine free. I am medication free. You keep taking your medication. I'm telling anybody don't stop doing that. I'm saying if you sit into that, you will. It'll stop naturally. In its own way, it will stop naturally. You can't do anything physically. You're not creating anything physically. You're not doing anything but putting together physically the world that you're thinking, the way you're thinking it. I'm always healthy. I'm always well. I have perfect health. I'm always healthy. I'm always well. I have perfect health. If you sit in that, your world will reflect that. I'm telling you how to use the greatest creative power there is, which is your awareness of being. Your consciousness, what you are choosing to be aware of, what you're choosing to be conscious of. And the problem is that most of us are not choosing. We are aware and we are conscious, but it's not because of our choices. We haven't made a choice to be. We've just made a choice to accept what everyone else around us is being. Where they say you are the average of your 5 friends. You know, people say that or something to that effect. Yeah, that's essentially we've taken everybody else's thing and, oh, girl, what you think? Oh, what you think? Oh, what you think? What you think? Okay, all you guys said on this. Okay, I'm that now. Nobody's officially doing it, but that's what you're doing. Nobody's going to say they're doing it, but that's what you're doing. That's what's happening. That's what's happening, right? And I'm telling you to use a creative power to renew your mind and transform your life. Change your mind and change your life. I am this now. Go, and it's happening like this, and this is the outcome of that. Your life is a summation of your choices, and your choices are you making a choice. Who is you? Is that little old you with a little old light that you're going to try to let shine? And I don't know why anybody thought it was a good idea to try to shine a little light. I don't know why anybody thought that was a good idea. Is that you? Or is it you that everything you set your hand to prospers? Is it you, I can't get ahead? Or is it you that all the world means me well and treats me kindly? Is it you, there's always traffic and I'm always late? Or is it you that I'm always on time? My ride is always smooth. I'm a king or a queen going down the King of Queens highway. My path is always smooth. Which one is it? Choose this day what you serve. Perfection is available to you. Amazing is available to you. Victory only, victory always. Victory in all things is amazing, is available to you. Victory only, victory always. I walk around saying that to myself all day, like I'm in some kind of shaman camp with some kind of beads. Walk around saying that to myself. I condition my mind to what I wanted to act on and perform on. I ain't thinking it if I don't want, I ain't thinking it if I don't want to live it. I'm not buying it if I don't want to eat it. So I'm only buying what I want to eat. I'm only thinking what I want to think. That's what a mature person does. That is what God does. That is who you are, whether you're acting like it or not. But you'll act like it and win, or you'll not act like it and suffer. You can be in heaven or hell. You choose. But you're going to be somewhere. And the point here is to choose. Choose this day who you serve. Which vision of yourself, which version of yourself that you serve in, that you are under. That is what the mature mind does. That is what God does. So that XYZ statement, you use it for any area of your life. Not just the ones you repeat, not the ones you get in your little groups and repeat and all that. No, I want the ones you create. Create something for yourself. Create the life you want on purpose, not the one you allow. Create the life you want or suffer the one you allow. Create the life you want or suffer the one you allow. I want you to start thinking for yourself. Start realizing you are the power. You are the operant power. You are the battery. You are the thing making everything go. Your business is a reflection of you. Your health is a reflection of you. Your money is a reflection of you. How can it be successful and you're not? How can it shine bright and you got a little light? Right? You are great. You are greater than you can even imagine. But hell, if you're just willing to assume as great as you can imagine, you'll be 100 times better than what you are right now in performance. Your life will be better, your health will be better, your relationships will be better, your business will be better, and everything will be better and easier. Because it's not just what you have, it's also how you have it. I want you to have prosperity and peace, not one or the other. Oh, I'm so peaceful, but you broke. I'd rather take a little stress and some money because what you got ain't working. Right? I don't want you to be, but I don't also want you to be prosperous and unhappy. Right? You don't have to trade. God takes both. God takes everything. It's all God's. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, a cattle on 1,000 hills. It's all God's. This is all yours. If I were hungry, I wouldn't ask anyone for anything. I would slay and eat. That's what it says in the book. You don't have to ask anybody for anything. You start assuming in your mind that you are victorious, that you are successful, that you are. Now, not later, not I'm going to be, not when I get this client, not when they call me back, not when my husband or wife says I'm amazing, not when I'm this and when somebody, no, when I said, because I'm saying. How do you have a life you can't say nothing about? How do you have a life you have no control, no say, or no, you can't dictate in? How do you have that? What do you have? You don't have anything. If you don't have you, you have nothing. There is no alternative. There is no other. There's one God. That's it. And that is you in the body you're in. And you are in control of your life through what you are thinking, feeling, and believing to be true based on who you believe you are. As adults, you have to start choosing your consciousness like you choose ice cream. I want this flavor. I want this state. I want that thing. I want this thing. I don't want that. I don't have to rail against it or rage against it. Chocolate is for somebody else. Anxiety is for somebody else. If they want to have that, let them have it. That's up to them. You don't have to have it. You don't got to get sick because it's flu season. You don't got to not make money in your business for 2 years because most people don't. You ain't most people. Should I call you that when you call me? Hey, Kari, how you doing, most people? How's that working? You'd be like, that ain't my name. Well, you act like it. Right? That's what we'd say. That's not who you are, then that's not who you are. No, I got a business. I make money now. I'm always winning. God is I am. God is right now. I am right now going to make money sometime later. What is that? No, I am God. I am successful now. I am healthy now. This is easy now. People beating down my door now. My phone is ringing right now. Hello? Hello? Hold on. Hello? That's how this is going. My account is ringing and pinging right now. That's how this is going. People are beating down my door to drink my gangster fuel or to be coached by the feminine fairy or to be the successful photographer or to be the the rental car queen or to be with all the things that you all are. That's now. That's today. That ain't 2 weeks from now. When it's going to happen on the by and by. You waiting for your business to be successful like you some kind of old person waiting to go to heaven. The by and by and the purple sky and the apple pie. No, not me. Not here, not today. That's not what we do here. You can do that with somebody else, somewhere else. No, we are living now. I am is now. It's always now. You are successful now. You are prosperous now. You are abundant now. Your business is now. Your business is as you are. If you just said, I am perfect, your business would be perfect because your business is nothing but a reflection of you. You don't even have to talk about your business. If you just talked about yourself right, your business would be right because you're right. Who's doing the business? Whose business is it? It can't be different than you. Your health can't be different than you. That's why it's called your health. So if you are something, then what the your is a reflection of that. And you handle it like that. You manage it like that. It looks like that. So if I am perfect, then my life is perfect because things are as I am. Things are as you are. In your life, things are as you are. If you get yourself straight, your life will straighten up. You won't have to do all that. You won't have to fight everybody. You won't have to do all that. You straighten yourself up and everything will conform itself because you are. And so it must become. It's the way it is. That's the way it is. So you are perfect. That's available to you. That's an option. Everything in the world can be perfect, whole, and complete. If you sit in there, everything I think is perfect. Everything I say is perfect. Everything I do is perfect. And you keep telling yourself that over and over and over and over and over. And things will happen. Something you may say, oh, shoot, this happened. But it just served for your highest and best good. All it's doing is putting fire to your perfection and taking off all the clothes, all the sheets, all the things that were covering it so you can see it. You will see how you make decisions different. But it won't be because of anything you did. It won't be because how many things you did. No, it's because you've changed your state of mind and it changes what you do. Whatever you call perfect for your business, you'll see. Whatever you call perfect for your health, you'll see. Whatever you call perfect, you'll see if you're willing to step into that. I am perfect. I am God. I am perfect, and everything I do is perfect. And you sit in that, as uncomfortable as it sounds, as uncomfortable as it may feel, as egotistical and maniacal and everything else that everybody will tell you and call you. That's the truth, is you are perfect. And until you're willing to step into it, you'll never see it. But if you step into it, you'll see things you've never seen. You'll see perfection in every area that you step in. And you sit in it and you don't move. And you'll see it. All right. We'll save some time. Questions, comments, everything like that.
Hold up, Coach. Introducing Gavin.
So I just want to say, for starters, it was a great meeting, feel me? Great weekly affirmations, great Saturday service, feel me? Because this is like church to me, Saturday service. You know what I'm talking about? I just want to say, for starters, I just made the most bomb breakfast bites. So it was hearing these, like, you can do this. I ain't gonna lie. I know we were just talking about if it's only perfect in your mind. Let me tell you, I just made the most perfect breakfast bites in the nation.
He did.
Right? It was
He did.
it was like just perfect God timing. Trust me. And on top of that, you got bars today, bro. Next Eminem from 8 Mile. I'm gonna be honest. You were going with all the gnaws, you were just rhyming today. Today was a freaking great meeting. Great meeting. And I just want to say thank you. I just want to tell you another thing. I have a combine or a showcase in front of like 5 different colleges tomorrow. So this was also just like the icing on the cake for my mentality. So I just want to say thank you. Hope everybody here had a great weekend. And yeah, all love.
Man, I appreciate you. And I'm so happy for you, because I wish I would have known this information this way at your age, because you can do anything with it. We all can. Where we are now, we are. Man, you got a whole head start, brother. So keep doing it. You, your sister, and your mom and everything. You guys keep doing it. But especially as young people, man, you have something you'll never have to go through a lot of stuff that we went through because of our ignorance, being miseducated, misinformed, misled. We didn't know, and we didn't know that people didn't know. Right. So you're getting something, man, where you'll never have to experience some of the things we did. You'll never have to be poor. You'll never have to be sick. You'll never have to be broke. You'll have victory only and victory always. Right. So keep doing it, man. Congratulations. And definitely thanks for that. That's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir.
Coach, I just wanted to say thank you. Prior to these calls, I was a person who thought I was thinking positive, and still getting the things that I didn't want. So now I know that all is mind. And when I start going down the rabbit hole of thought that doesn't benefit my outcome, I remind myself all is mind. And that's something that I've been putting into practice on a regular basis. All is mine. And then instantly it just switches around. So thank you for that. Thank you for your thank you.
Wonderful. And you're proving it by applying it. You're proving it. You did it and you said it switched. So it works. Right. And so you start expanding that in every area of your life. All is mine. There is no exemption. There is no exception. So anything you can conceive, you can truly do, be, or have. And so you apply that mind to it as the person who is it, who does it, who has it. You make your desire a present fact. You make the future a present thing now. There's no more later. There's no tomorrow. There's no next time. There's now and only now. Right. And you will see that become a part of your world. So absolutely.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I'd like to represent the other end of the spectrum, Mr.
Okay.
Gap. You're beautiful. I love it. And God knows how many moons and/or years I am beyond you. And I want to say, even at this stage in my life, I am.
Oh, I guess your sound went out. I think it's Karen. Karen, your sound went out. Okay. Well, we'll come back to her when she comes back. Anyone? Oh, maybe she's back.
Am I on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, because I am walking probably through, I don't know where I stopped, but I'm great this stage of the game. My mind is open. I'm ready to unlearn and relearn. It's beautiful. Implementation at this stage, it's easier because I'm more patient, open, and seasoned, as they say. I love it. I love where I am. It's like this is what I've been waiting for all my life. Yes.
Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's right. That's what we're here. We're here to practice and play. So we take today, and when we cut this camera off or wherever else we all go, apply it. Put it into the grocery store line, put it into the traffic, put it into every day and every way of your life. And you'll see it. You'll get better and better and better. You'll see it. You'll realize you're awakening. Your consciousness will expand. You'll realize how much more you are, right? And you'll do it with everything, and everything will work for your highest and best good as it should, as it's supposed to. Wonderful. Okay.
I just noticed, Coach, how like this week, staying true to my ideal self, my ideal version of myself, staying true to that has attracted more, it's like a soft space to learn some of these more challenging lessons. It's like just being true to myself, being true to my soft side instead of the former side of me that I lived for so many years, right? Which was the polar opposite of feminine and soft, you know? I was a protector for myself. So I was just this really hard shell person. And I am so dedicated and so loyal to being soft, my entire lifestyle being one that suits me living softly, doing business softly, against the grain, against the odds of whatever's around me, just being safe enough to be soft wherever I go. Mentally safe, because it's all in your head, right? And so this week, I have exercised the most discipline within that I've ever experienced in my life of just remaining calm when the old me would be so enraged. And so, I just give up that energy, that spirit. I just give up. I'm going to just let the whole day go by and I'm just going to sulk. I have gotten up with some of the same situations happening. I have handled them way more gently. I have gotten up and handled my business. I have prioritized, what's good for me versus what I've done in the past. I have stepped into an identity of like somebody who is like serious about like no matter what, no matter who gets dropped off. And the thing is, these people, they're still on board with me being me. It's uncomfortable because I initiate change in others. They're not always ready, or they don't want to hear that. They're not about that. But me, the more I'm true to me, they're not leaving the picture. They could, but they're not. People are adjusting to when I say adjusting, I don't mean that like it's a walk in the park. I mean that like the people who don't understand these kind of conversations, they see magic. They're attracted to this energy or this vibe, but they don't understand how to see past what they know or what they've been taught, that they're not perfect and things like that. Then a person like me comes along and then it's like, you sound crazy, but I like it, but you sound crazy. Just you being true to yourself, whatever that looks like. My thing is just me being soft. Whatever the other person's vision for themselves is what it is. But like this week, I've never in my life responded the way that I responded this week, just being calm. And I had to remember those videos you sent, the young white girl, I don't remember her name, but the girl with the short videos, like those reminders, they just helped me to stay calm and reaffirm, isn't it wonderful? My life is perfect. My life is perfect. So this whole situation is perfect. It's going to work out perfect. It already worked out. Like, what am I tripping for if it's already worked out? We're good. Everything's fine. But those reminders, man, like I cannot be affiliated with anybody, just anybody. People have to talk like this. Somebody, I ain't gonna say no names, but somebody and I were on the phone this week and I was just like, yo, we got to speak like this. Like, we got to, like, I can't be sitting on the phone. If you talking about all this defeat, I can't relate with that. I can't vibe with you. You're bringing me down. I'm gonna always be pouring into you, building you up. So then you need to be a client. You don't need to be a friend talking like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, my goodness, like you just wake up when you study calls like this and messages like this and you hold yourself accountable, you just start waking up. And you just start realizing like, yo, the whole time it was me deciding to just be a part of that chaos. And the more I affirm myself, and the more I repeat these affirmations, the more I'm putting the ball back in my court. And it's just weird because it's like you have all this power. Are you scared to use it? Like, what is it? So anyway, I had a mega moment this week where I was just proud of me because the old me would have, what they say in Houston, we would have wrecked shop. Like it would have been a whole situation. I'm telling you. So I've evolved and I'm just proud of myself. I don't talk about this stuff. So I'm just very proud of my steps this week, my results.
Well, wonderful. And you all should be proud of yourselves, and you all should be patient and kind with yourselves, because we didn't do this to ourselves on purpose. We just didn't know any better. But we're here now. It's not about the past in that sense. It's about we're here now and we know better and we want to do better, and that's what we're doing. And you know, that's all it's about, right? So, you know, we keep on doing, we keep on living, and you keep on growing, you keep on better, man. It's wonderful. And you learn to love yourself, enjoy yourself, patient with yourself, kind to yourselves, all of us. And man, you just keep going from joy to joy, victory to victory. And you just keep winning, and winning becomes all you know. It becomes all you do, just like your name. It becomes all you know. It becomes all you do. It's just what you do, right? When you wake up and you're like, if my eyes open, it's on. My eyes open, I already won, right? Stuff like that. That's what we're living like. That's how that works. Wonderful. Okay. Anyone else before I let you go?
Hi, Coach Lucky. It's Michelle.
Hey,
I just have a quick, how you doing? Hey,
good. How are
Vero,
you?
¿cómo está, mi amor? I just have a quick thing. Like, this just is confirmation for me. I'm a practicing Buddhist, Nichiren Buddhism, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo all day. And there's these like examining the 10 worlds, and there's different states of existence. And what you showed me today is like, in this practice, in this 10 worlds, there's different levels. There's hell, there's hunger, there's animality, there's anger. We all are in these stages. But what I heard from you today is that, which also in Buddhism we believe in, we don't have to stay there. We don't have to stay in those spaces, because sometimes, you know, when you're in all these groups, you hear everybody has trials and tribulations, and everyone's going through something. But sometimes, me personally, when I feel like I'm not going through what somebody else is going through, that means, okay, I'm not passionate about something. I haven't had any hardship, but I have to respect that and be happy about that my life has gone a certain way where it allows me to be here to do things and not have all the hardships, but I don't have to stay there. I don't have to look for trouble, basically. I don't have to look for something that's not there.
Right.
Right. So I just want to thank you for that confirmation. And yeah, thank you.
Yes. And that's what I want us to all understand, is that our physical world is a reflection of our consciousness. And whatever we choose to be true, choose to believe, choose to accept, choose to allow, that is what is going to be expressed in our physical world, what people call reality, which is nothing but a copy, because reality is our mind. Like Monique was saying, the universe is mental, all is mind. All is mind. There's no exemptions, no exceptions. So everything we're physically experiencing is a physical reflection of our consciousness, finding its physical counterpart. Oh, this is what we're thinking. Here's the physical thing. This is what we're thinking. God creates. God's invisible. There's a physical thing. That visible thing creates. So absolutely, we're all in states of mind. And as we mature, the whole point is to choose what state of mind we occupy, knowing that that is the life, the physical experience we're going to live as a result. Right? Absolutely.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Well, hey, thank you all for another wonderful Saturday. Thank you for coming. It's always an honor and pleasure to be able to run my mouth to you all. Thank you for listening to all my tantrums and tirades and my 5-pound loss of weight every week up here on the carpet. Thank you all. Like we always talk about, practice and go out now. We practice. Now you go out and play. Apply it to, there's no big or small. Just apply it to apply whatever you can understand. Apply it to whatever you can apply that to, and just keep practicing, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And you'll see, you'll prove that it's true, and you'll prove that it's true. And that's the point. Right? So thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of the day. I'll see some of you this week. I'll see the rest of you next Saturday. Keep doing it. Remember, change your mind, change your life, renew your mind, transform your life. Remember who you are. You are perfect, or whatever you choose to be. And sit there until you see it. All right. Have a good weekend. See you guys later. Bye.